Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Witham Health Field. I'm Nathaniel Finch, alongside Brett Kading, bringing you the action today on this windy Friday night, where the Western Boone Stars hosting the Frankfort Hot Dogs on tonight's homecoming matchup. Western Boone comes to this one riding the hot hand of Spencer Wright. Brett Wright has almost 600 yards so far on the year, a 7-2 touchdown to interception ratio. But on the other side of the field, we will see a new addition to the starting lineup, Riley Goodnight, as Sam Michael, their starting quarterback throughout the year, down with an injury. He'll be back next week. But for today, we will see number 16, Goodnight, the sophomore quarterback. Looking at some of the stats for him through the limited, only one game. He's been 4 for 10, 44 yards, thrown 2 interceptions to no touchdowns. Definitely a learning curve going from halfback to quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things, your team that's struggling, that's 0-5 already, and then have to go to their backup quarterback for a game with the reigning state champions. One of the things we do have that's a plus is we didn't have any rain tonight. I thought there for a while we were going to have some rain, but it's still sunny and 81 degrees. And like you say, the wind, I'll tell you what, it's a southeasterly wind at 11 miles per hour. But, it's going to be equal for everybody else. But it's going to be going across the field here tonight. So it may make a couple of these, if we get a field goal attempt or an extra point, it may make them kind of interesting.
Yeah, and we'll see this high-flying offense for the Stars. Likely going to attempt quite a few of those field goal attempts, PATs. We'll see what Frankfort can do. Interesting thing throughout the year, through 5 games, Frankfort has not scored a point in the first, second, or third quarter. All their points have come in garbage time when they're already down. A couple keys to the game here, Brett, for Frankfort starting off. If they want to win this game or at least keep pace, they need to score early and often.
I agree. And the one thing, after seeing Western Boone last week with North Montgomery with you, if a key for Western Boone tonight, I think is, I don't believe they're going to have too much trouble winning this ball game. They shouldn't. I think they need to be working on the things that they need to do better, as far as not fumbling the ball, the turnovers, the penalties. There's a lot of things that they can work on, especially in this first half, because it's going to get probably ugly by the second half. But it's just the way it is. Frankfort has struggled the last couple of years, but Western Boone has to work on those mistakes because they kept North Montgomery in that game last week. And as they move on and play tougher competition this season, they're going to have to play a lot better ball than what we saw last week.
Yeah, of course. Number one key to the game for Western Boone, take control of penalties. They had a costly penalty that brought back a long touchdown return last week.
Right at the end of the half.
Exactly.
Yes.
And penalties have just plagued this team throughout the year. That game against Western where they lost by 1 point, there were multiple penalties there that were just silly, that cost them the win. And if they're going to want to go deep into the playoffs this year, they really need to work on cleaning up those penalties in the regular season when the games are not as crucial. We'll take a look at the last 5 games here.
Yeah.
Last year, Western Boone won 57-0. The year before, Western Boone won 51-0. The year before is a bit closer game, 31-8, Western Boone in favor. 2015, Western Boone wins 24-0. And finally, in 2014, Western Boone won 26-14 through the last 5 matchups. Now, throughout the series, we see Western Boone's won the last 5 matchups.
Right.
These teams, 22-19, Western Boone's favoring in the series. So throughout the history of these 2 games, Western Boone hasn't dominated quite the whole time. But, of course, these last 5 games, Western Boone, you heard the stats, leading 189-22, the combined score through those 5 games. We're going to look to continue here tonight.
Yeah, as of late, Frankfort used to be really, really tough in football, just like Robertsville used to be. They used to be the powerhouses. And another thing I think is good, if Western Boone can get a lead and get into the second half, the other thing that is a good thing for them is to get some of these secondary people, your underclassmen, in the ball game. Let them play. Let them see what it's like to play in varsity, because if somebody does get hurt, they can jump up there and they'd be the next man up as you get later on in the season.
Yeah, that's something that really helped last year, Brett, is once they got into their midseason form, into the late season, a lot of the younger guys were able to come in and get some reps. So whenever we had somebody injured, we had that next man up mentality because they had that experience on varsity. We'll take a look at some of the stats here. Sorry to cut you off.
All right, go ahead.
Through 5 games here, Western Boone averaging 38 points per game, Frankfort averaging 7. And just to take a look at what the Indy Star has this game pegged at, Indy Star's predicted this one 49-8 in favor of Western Boone. We'll see if it's quite that bad, or maybe Frankfort can be a little frisky today. Maybe they can hang in a bit longer. They've had a week to prepare. And
we talked about last week, everybody's going to bring their A game when they play the state champions. And we hope that Frankfort comes out and plays well tonight. One thing I did notice as I looked through their starting lineups and things, they do start a lot of underclassmen. They've got some seniors, but they're playing a lot of their underclassmen, so they're trying to get a future going at Frankfort now.
Yeah, just an observation from myself. Last year when we were out here, we were broadcasting this game, to this year, just kind of looking at some of the names, I only recognize 2 or 3 names from last year, so they have a lot of different guys stepping up from last year, a completely different team than the one that lost by 57 last year. We'll take a look at some of the rankings so far for the class of 2A. Lewis Cass ahead, number 1 in 2A. Yeah. They are 5-0. Evansville Mater Dei is second in the rankings, 4-1. And making a jump into the top 3, your Western Boone Stars. They're 4-1 here as these two teams are preparing to come out.
Yeah, and if you weren't listening to us last week, well, shame on you for not listening to us on WBTV. But I'll tell you, tell them who got beat last week in a surprise.
Cecina got their rear ends handed to them.
They did.
By then winless team Ron Colley, and that dropped Cecina's rankings from 1st now to 4th. That's where Western Boone was able to jump into that top 3. We'll take a break here. We'll be back in 45 seconds here right before kickoff on WBTV Sports.
St. Adrian Meats and Sausage, located on the square in downtown Lebanon, offers locally raised and handcrafted proteins. Experts in livestock production and nutrition, their core value is that quality protein begins with exceptional nutrition. From birth to butcher, they know exactly what is in their products and how the animals are raised. Support your Boone County butchers and buy local. St. Adrian is open Fridays from noon until 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Bob's Concessions sells foods such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as the Turning of the Leaves Festival and other fairs around the area. For more information, call 317-850-6499.
Welcome back to Witham Health Field. I'm Nathaniel Finch, Brett Kading here to my left, bringing you Friday night football. The clouds have cleared. The wind, it's still going to play a factor. The wind hasn't died down much, but at least we have a little bit of sun here tonight. And getting ready for this matchup. Back to return for the Stars, Stoudemire, number 33, and Hull, number 24. And the kick is away. Homecoming night for Western Boone here with Witham Health Field. Will be returned by number 22, Casey Baird. Baird has some room to the left side, blocking in front of him. He's at the 43-yard line before he's brought out of bounds. And now we'll set up this Western Boone team with our first drive on offense at around the 44-yard line of their own.
Yeah, and Western Boone, if you've got an old radio, they're going right to left on your radio dial, and Frankfort left to right. And that'd be north to south and south to north here at Western Boone.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the starting lineups here on your screen. And behind them, this is actually the Western Boone defense. So we'll see if we can switch that for you, show you the offense here after this. We'll bring that back in just a second. But the Stars wearing their blue and Frankfort dressed in white. And here it comes, the handoff. It'll be a fake. Spencer Wright looked to move. He's still got room on the left side. Still moving. Spencer Wright, the first play of the game. At the 20, he will walk into the end zone for a Western Boone touchdown. Spencer Wright, the first play of the game, puts this one on, and the Stars are ahead already, 6-0, pending this extra point.
And I tell you what, if we're able to see an instant replay on that, when he cuts to the left, there was one really good block that opened that up for him, and then he was just not wanting to go down as he went into the end zone.
And here is the PAT for the Stars. Jake Taylor is going to use his leg. This one's up, and with the wind, it's good. the wind going against him. It didn't have a problem on the 18, 19-yard PAT. So the Stars will score first. 7-0 is your score. Western Boone ahead. Frankfort will take offense here after this kickoff shortly on WBTV Sports. We'll stay here, though, and just talk about how that first drive went. It didn't take long.
No, I was going to say, I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but I'll tell you, when he went around the left side to make that cut, he got a block, and that block opened up the line, and then there wasn't anybody there to touch him, and we talked about him last week. He just has the moves, and he has the senior leadership that this team needs.
Yeah, and there you saw it was like he ran through a hoop of fires. He just dropped his shoulder, kind of took off there on the left side, and then was able to rebound, get up, and go. Here's the kickoff team.
And like you said, they needed to start out here with Western Boone, needed to start out with a score, but then also the Hot Dogs needed to stop, and that's not a good way for them to start this ball game for the Hot Dogs.
Play. That wasn't such a testament to the defense of Frankfort.
The offense of Western Boone.
It was such well-played offense by Spencer Wright. All right, well, here is the kick by Hayden Woodruff, number 53 for the Stars. Boots this one back, and it will go out of bounds. The flag goes up, and Frankfort will start at the 40-yard line. We'll see these two offenses. As we mentioned, Frankfort's starting quarterback here, because of the injury to Sam Michael, will be Riley Goodnight, number 16. You see him on your screen. Will be aided by Jack Wilkins, the halfback. Frankfort likes to run in the I formation, try to run the ball up your throat. We'll see how successful they can be here on this first drive with 11:42 left in the first.
He's got 2 interceptions on the season. And you've got a guy there would love to get a sack or 2 tonight.
Definitely. Well, here's the formation. 2 wide receivers down low. Man in motion for Frankfort. It'll be a toss out to the left side. Number 34, Wilkins drops his shoulder and moves for a decent first down gain of 3 or 4 yards. That'll set him up on their own 39-yard line.
Connor Hull on the stop there for Western Boone. I can't remember which kid you were talking about had he was tied for the most sacks for Western Boone.
That's right. So number 51, Caleb Freeman. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. Yeah. Caleb Freeman went to last game with 6 sacks, was tied for first. Got 1.5 sacks that game, 7.5. He is the lone defensive player for sacks in the whole state, not 2A, but the whole state, including the 6A schools. Caleb Freeman leads the state in sacks. Here is to the left side, the toss. He will be stopped as Wilkins and brought down after a gain of none. That'll set up 3rd down here in the first quarter.
Brett Wethington on the stop there for Western Boone, the senior.
And we didn't get to talk about it much, but last week the Stars, they traveled to North Montgomery. They won 28-14 in a game that it felt like it was supposed to be 42-14, 42-7. And just those penalties and mistakes, something the Stars will have to learn to limit here heading into the latter half of the season. They're 3-0 in conference and hoping that they can stay that way. Move up to 4-0 after this game. As for Frankfort, looking for their first win. Here's their pistol formation, 2 tall receivers. It'll be a pass. Good night. Drops back. He's got pressure and will be brought down. Forced sack, number 5, Clayton Hysong.
Yes. Hysong grabbed him by the shoestring, and here on the Western Boone sideline, doing a great job was Austin Bowman as he was guarding the receiver for Frankfort. That was Cameron Swinford.
Well, here comes a punt. That was almost blocked by Freeman. This will be a high punt recovered by number 24, Connor Hull. Hull to the left side looking for a big return. He cuts it inside and will be brought down in his own territory right around the 49-yard line for the Stars. Now the person who forced that 4th down punt, Clayton Hysong, that was his 2nd sack of the season. Just 1 coming into this game, and it didn't take long for him to prove on that number.
No, and Mitchell Ramsey on the tackle for Frankfort there. the Western Boone with great field position again. We'll see what the drive chart looks like after this. We'll see if Spencer Wright does a keeper and comes around this left side again.
All right, well, here's Wright, man in motion's Baird. That will be a pass. He's looking over the left side. His man wide open is Connor Garrity. He catches it. Will be brought down, though, right around the 21-yard line. Connor Garrity with his first reception of the night. Takes that one for a big gain. Finds the hole. Didn't even need a whole lot of speed on that play, but he was able to get to the second level.
And Reese Mitchell there on the tackle. As we're down to 9 minutes and 23 seconds to go here in this first period of play, and it's a 7-0 Western Boone over the Frankfort Hot Dogs.
I need him zoomed out. All right, well, here's this pistol formation. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Spencer Wright facing some trouble, and he'll go down for a sack. The Frankfort team sacks him for the first time tonight. Number 11 is the one to bring him down, the senior Efrain Quinones. So now the Stars will be set up with a second down and around 12.
Quinones, a senior for Frankfort.
Number 11 does a nice job. Wright needs to improve on that reading ability. Spread formation, they're in the pistol. Here's the pass, goes deep to the end zone. He's got a man open, is Hole. And Hole catches the touchdown. Western Boone with another one. Brings the score 13-0 after some catch by Connor Hole.
23-yard touchdown reception for Hole.
We'll bring up the replay shortly after this PAT. Guess we'll miss the PAT. Take a look at the replay now. Just finds the receiver with a guy on him. Hole, what a catch. And here's the PAT. This one's up and it's good. 14 now to 0 is your score. Just what a catch by Connor Hole. He goes up for it and pulls it down with the man draped on his back. And the Stars starting out hot, 14-0. You see the JV come in here sooner rather than later.
2 times they've had the ball. Both times they've scored. And, you know, the thing was, Hole was guarded pretty decent there in the end zone, but he dove after that thing in the middle there and was able to bring it in.
Well, I don't know how he did it. That was very impressive going up and getting it.
Now Western Boone kickoff again here. Frankfort, their first possession, 3 and out. And we're here for homecoming tonight. This is big homecoming crowd for Western Boone. Not much of a crowd on the other side for Frankfort. The floats are at the south end, and there'll be a queen crowned tonight.
Yeah, a king and a queen here. We'll see. They'll also have a competition to see which grade level has the best float. You know how it goes. Homecoming night for Western Boone. Awaiting the kick. Here it goes. Hayden Woodruff. Boot this one up. It'll be returned and taken left, still moving. He's got a few guys in front of him and brought down. Didn't quite see who that was.
Let's see if I can get his number for you there. Number 4. That would.
Jade Ayers, the junior.
He got it at the 20 and got it all the way out to the 35 before he was taken down. So now are you in the King contest? Are you in the contest for King, or you didn't want to do this and that both?
We will see. I am not. We will see here shortly who all is in the contest. I try to remember those names.
Do they let the kids vote on it here at Western Boone?
Yes, sir. King and Queen, they vote on it, and we'll see who the finalists are at halftime. Hey, there's something up with the camera complexion. It's all green and stuff. You see like some hard on field, both of them. Those people made weird filters or Well, here comes the play. It'll be blown dead after the snap, right before the snap, that is.
False start.
Might have been some jumping on
Western
Boone.
So that caused the false start for the jump for Frankfort.
Yeah, neutral zone infraction, it looks like. And now Frankfort will have an easier first down attempt, 1st and 5.
They gained more on that than they've gained in the ball game so far.
Yeah, and that's something the Stars really need to limit are those penalties.
Right.
And here it didn't take long, only a second drive to see a penalty. That one minor, but some of these other ones that they can commit, just costly stuff that not really necessary to commit. Here's this offense for Frankfort. Handoff up the middle. He stopped. Brett Wethington knocks him to the deck. And slow to get up, but he does. I'd take my time getting up too if I were decked like that by Wethington.
So they gain 5 on the penalty, and they lose 3 on the next play.
And what a play by Wethington. The senior captain knocks down number 34, Jack Wilkins, who's played with some power here through the first drive. And now there's just nothing he could have done on that play as Brett Wethington just lowers his shoulder. Like I said, knocks him to the deck.
Yeah, and I tell you also, beautiful field here. The facilities are just really great here at Western Boone.
They're actually going to build this track here after today. This is the last home game for a few weeks for Western Boone, so maybe we'll see it improve as they put in the new track here at Western Boone over the next couple weeks before soccer sectionals start up and before senior night.
Oh, we got a timeout.
Timeout will be charged to Frankfort, and with that, we'll be back in 45 seconds on WBTV Sports.
Hoosier Agromatics certified and experienced team of professionals provides planning, design, sales, construction, service, and parts for farm and small commercial grain systems. The construction team's clean and quick approach assures the most efficient option for you while keeping your facility operating at its best with an eye for the future. Give Hoosier Agromag a call at 765-436-2203 or visit their website at HoosierAg.com.
This portion of the broadcast is being brought to you by Jones Home Services. They're a 24-hour heating and cooling specialist. Give them a call at 317-753-0230 or check them out online at joneshomeservices.biz for all your home and improvement.
I don't need anything then. Welcome back here with Witham Health Field. I'm Nathaniel Finch. Getting onto the action here, Brett Kading to the left of me. These two teams, we're going to see what this drive holds for Frankfort. Second and long, pistol formation after that motion. Handoff up the middle to Wilkins, and Wilkins is stopped by a galaxy of Western Boone Stars defenders. We brought down for now a third and long for Frankfort.
Yeah, Dakota Halford. Is that Halford? Is that how so he was the one that was able to get the tackle. We're down to 7 minutes to go here in this first period of play, and it's a 14-0 score for your Stars over the Frankfort Hot Dogs.
And as we wait for this play, we'll take a look at some scores from around the conference. Tri-West facing Lebanon. They're holding them for the homecoming, similar to Western Boone tonight. Facing Lebanon. Lebanon just scored 6 points but missed a 2-point conversion as the flag's in the play. This one's thrown deep in the air. A lot of contact there and falls incomplete, of course. Bowman turns around and is saying, that's on me, guys.
They're going to call
illegal shift on Frankfort, so that'll move them back. Yeah, so as we were saying, some of the scores. Lebanon is up 6-0 against Tri-West. They missed their extra point, scored the touchdown. Danville up 7-0 against Southmont. And then just a couple of key matchups here tonight throughout the 2A. Cecina, they're playing the number 1 ranked Lutheran in 1A, so we'll see how those teams do. Cecina looking to rebound after that embarrassing loss last week. And Lewis Cass, the number 1 ranked 2A team, they are playing Western today, the only team to beat Western Boone in the last 2 years.
Wow.
That'll be a very, very eye-opening matchup there, and we'll track that throughout the game. Here's the punt, this one in the air, a couple that have almost been blocked. Connor Hull's got some momentum. He's got a blocker ahead of him. He will lateral this one. This one will be on the ground, will roll out of bounds. That almost worked as Connor Hull had nothing but daylight in front of him. Unfortunately, the throw from Connor Hull was not quite good enough.
And, you know, even though that didn't work out, that's all right. I like that idea because that gives, you know, when other people are watching this, that it's going to be playing Western Boone when they start swapping films and stuff, they're going to see this kind of a play, and it's going to keep them honest. And, I mean, even though it didn't work, I think it was a good play for Western Boone to do.
Yeah, it'd be good to practice some of those here before sectionals begin in a few weeks. Here's Spencer Wright, pistol formation. It'll be a handoff up the field. Looks like Caleb Iron will still turn his feet and will be dropped after about 8 yards. Caleb Iron going to come in and play running back position.
Ethan Cook on the tackle there for Frankfort.
Iron gets a nice gain there right up the middle. He's not a big guy like Weddington or Taylor, but he definitely was able to go right up the middle. He did just fine there, rushing between his tackles.
Yeah, went off the right side there, and you know, if you got good blockers, you can make some yards.
Man in motion's Baird. Trips formation at the top of your screen. He's looking for the screen to Baird, and Baird goes to the right side. He's got first down and more before he's met out of bounds and dropped by the Frankfort defender. Number 21 for Frankfort, Andrik Molinax. And now it sets up Western Boone with a first down and 10 in Frankfort's territory. 5:56 up on the clock. 14-0 is your score. Ball is on the 41 and a half yard line.
And I kind of like this, the way Western Boone's doing this offensive series, just making a little bit yards at a time.
Right, gonna look to throw at the top of the screen. This one's caught. The reception looked like Reese Durbin. Durbin brought out of bounds. Will be stayed inbounds, excuse me. And we'll set up second down and medium.
Yeah, they're not going long. They're working on some routes. They're working on curls and some outside plays. I think it's good that Western Boone's working on some things.
Brett, how hard would it be just to go deep every single play and score? It's nice to see that they're taking their foot off the neck of the tiger here. They'll call, looks like a neutral zone infraction. We'll wait the official call, but yeah, encroachment for Frankfort. We'll move the Stars up and result of the play, first down.
Want to help Spencer Wright too, gets him into a rhythm, gets the receivers into a rhythm, because there's no doubt in my mind that they couldn't try to go long with every play, and this way they're just actually getting a drive and putting a drive together.
So here's the play. It'll just be a routine rush right up the middle. Won't go for a whole lot. I didn't quite see who's rushing for that time, but we'll move on.
I thought it
was it 33 Stoudemire?
I think it was.
That's something we don't see very often. That's why I was kind of confused as to what was going on there. Stoudemire not used to being a running back. He comes in every now and then for a reception. First rush of the year for Stoudemire. Here's a handoff up the middle. That one's Iron. Iron running with a passion to the right side. Still moving. Caleb Iron, he's got a pile pushing him another 20 yards almost. And yeah,
all the way down to about the 13-yard line.
Inside the red zone. As we're talking about that matchup, Cecina versus Lutheran. Lutheran's already scored 7-0 over there. Number 1 ranked Lutheran for 1A versus the number 4 ranked Cecina for 2A. Cecina, Stars have seen them in the regional round the last 2 years, and there's a decent chance that these two teams could meet up again this year.
So 4:30 to go here in this first period of play, and it's your Western Boone Stars 14 and the Frankfort Hot Dogs nothing. Well, they're stacking up the right side here. Back for the pass.
Not quite sure what just happened there. I do apologize for that.
And it was knocked down by Cole Wills. Cole Wills knocked down the pass from Spencer Wright as it was intended for Connor Garrity.
Well, here's the Stars in the red zone.
And Garrity's wide left this time. Man in motion. Hand off to the inside.
That's Robbie Taylor, and he reaches, extends, and he's in. Western Boone 20, Frankfort 0 as Robbie Taylor gets his first rushing touchdown of this game and extends the play, scores the touchdown, and Western Boone up by 3 touchdowns. And for Robbie Taylor, number 41, the junior, that's his 4th rushing touchdown. We'll take a look at the replay here. Just a routine handoff up the middle, and Taylor, he does everything on his own, reaches forward, barrels into the end zone. The extra point was good. You missed that there.
So now with 4 minutes to go in this ball game, we've got a 21-17 0-0 lead for Western Boone over Frankfort. Frankfort with three times that they've had the ball and 3 drives, and all 3 have gone for touchdowns.
Yeah, we'll see what Frankfort can do here to respond. Now they're down by 3 touchdowns. They need to score here on this next play or at least mount some type of offense.
And I couldn't tell Frankfort had to make a personnel replacement because somebody was hurt, and that was why the officials, before that touchdown rush, gave them a second to get a sub in. And if you look at it over on the far side, Frankfort has a good number of kids out. Just a lot of young ones on that field right now.
Well, here we go. Losing my voice a little bit already. Not very good with being the first quarter. 4:05 left. Here's the kick. This one, a pretty deep kick, right around the 18-yard line. Going to be returned through over to the left side, changing field position. Number 4 for Frankfort's going to be brought down. And Jade Ayers, the returner on the play, will set up Frankfort deep in their own territory.
And again, that I'll tell you what, Mr. Everywhere for Western Boone, that was Connor Garrity on the tackle.
And he's got a touchdown, or not a touchdown reception, but a reception of over 10 yards already in this game.
And Western Boone stops him at about the 28-yard line, where Frankfort will take over.
All right, well, here's Frankfort on offense. Going to rush over to the left side. It'll be a halfback pass. Will be intercepted. Connor Hull with the easy interception. He's going to look to return it all the way. Connor Hull spins. He's still on his feet. He's still got blockers in front of him, and Hull finally brought down. Kicks himself after he knows he could have gone all the way there, but Hull with the 40-yard interception return drops the Stars right around the 12-yard line.
And Tyler Good for Frankfort, the junior, was the last man that could get him down and got him with a shoestring tackle. So just like that, good call. I think they thought they'd do a little trick play there and do a little pass, and I think the Hot Dogs didn't know that the Stars were going to be ready for that one.
Yeah, that's right. And Frankfort just trying to do something here. They have to be more conservative on offense. They can't be giving the ball to the Stars so easily.
You got trips over to the right.
Max Johnson at right tackle at wide receiver. Here's the pass over the right side. He's got blockers in front of him. Cortez Stoudemire's in. Stoudemire scores yet another touchdown for the Stars. 27-0 will be the score pending this extra point. Fireworks go off for a 4th time tonight, and now it kind of made sense to see Max Johnson, the tackle, out there, line up at receiver. He was blocking,
right,
and it worked out pretty well there.
3:30 to go in this first period of play.
Touchdown reception of 12 yards for Cortez Stoudemire. Here's Taylor's extra point. It's in. Jake Taylor puts another point up on the board. We'll take a look at your replay here. Presented by Austin Smothers, our technical director tonight. Here's just a nice screen play. And Stoudemire really does his job there, shaking and baking to get into the end zone for a bit of an easy touchdown there. 28-0 your score now.
Now Frankfort
3:37 in the first.
Really in the hole now. And again, Western Boone working on what they need to work on. And I believe only one penalty. We'll see on halftime stats, but I believe Western Boone here in this first period of plays only had that one penalty for 5 yards. And other than that, they've been perfect. And Frankfort, if you spell Frankfort, there is no D in Frankfort. I can tell you that. Western Boone's going through them like Grant went through Richmond.
Yeah, well, here's the kickoff for the Stars. Back to return. Ayers likely going to get the ball here as he has the last few times. Jade Ayers, number 4, will return this one. He's around the 20-yard line, now the 25, switching field position. He's going to go up the middle and brought down right around his own 30-yard line.
picked up about 10 yards. Pretty good kick there, kickoff for Western Boone. And this homecoming crowd is buzzing here tonight with this 28-0 lead with 3:30 to go here in this first period of play.
Yeah, a lot of fans out here in attendance, as they usually are for these home games, but homecoming, that's one that really brings out some people who don't always go to the games, and they want to see that one game a year. Homecoming and senior night really draw the biggest crowds in the regular season. Here's the offense for Frankfort, trying to put something together after their pointless start. The handoff over to the left side, trying to score some points. Not able to do so. Brought out of bounds for about a yard or two.
Jack Wilkins, the senior.
Wilkins has really been the only guy to touch the ball so far tonight. Even that interception was credited to the halfback Wilkins on that trick play.
The old halfback pass.
Yeah, Wilkins, he's already attempted that this year. And as I scramble to find my statistics here, Jack Wilkins, the running back, has thrown 8 passes. He's completed 8 passes, that is, 148 yards, touchdown, and 2 interceptions. So he's come in and he's played that quarterback role a little bit with Mr. Goodnight, the quarterback right now. Hands it up the middle to Wilkins, and Wilkins brought down after a loss of a few.
And for Western Boone, that was Clayton Hyson on the tackle, the junior, and they lost about 3 yards on that. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for Frankfort.
And we'll see what kind of trickery they can pull up here as they're in the huddle for a bit longer, so maybe they're trying to come up with some type of play to try to fool this Stars team. But remember, they cannot be too they just need to be conservative at this point, and
they're going to have a hard time getting this off. They're not.
Yeah, it'll be a delay of game, or unless they call it a timeout, we'll see what the referees. That'll be a delay of game. Drops them back 5 yards.
So instead of 3rd and 11, it's going to be 3rd and 16.
Now, I'm sure that doesn't change the plan a whole lot here, Brett, as they would need a chunk play anyway to convert it. 5 yards on a 3rd and long. See what kind of difference that can make. Now here, there's 2:38 and dropping left in the first. Stay tuned for halftime. We'll have a couple interviews for you with some seniors from last year on the Stars team here at homecoming night. Man in motion is Wilkins. Going to be a pass. Looking back, he's got pressure in his face. The screen pass up in the air. It's intercepted. And the interception for the Stars looked to me like Caleb Iron.
Yeah.
Number 30, Caleb Iron.
Yes, it is. So, wow. Now, Western Boone will take over at the 19-yard line.
Similar to the last play, or the last drive where an interception set them up right around the 11-yard line. That was a quick touchdown. We'll see what they can do here and see who all is in for the personnel for the Stars. They've already scored 4 touchdowns in 10 minutes.
I was surprised a little bit at that score you had with the Lebanon Tri-West score. I figured Tri-West give them more of a ball game.
We'll see throughout the game. We'll try to give you some updates on those. Lutheran is ahead 14-0 against Cecina. Here's the first play for this drive. It'll be a pass right. Looks at the end zone. Will be brought down. Pass interference. The flag thrown, and Garrity had no chance. He had 2 guys on his back, and likely will set up the Stars near the goal line.
He was carrying him on his back, is what he was, and as he went into the end zone, I believe. And with that, Hull's going to come in for Western Boone.
Yeah, Marshall step aside. Hull will come in. Hull, a big playmaker here for the Stars. We'll see what Coach Pelly has rigged up here.
So they got him and Garrity over on the right side.
Man in motion, handoff, reverse jet sweep. Connor Hull, he's still moving, and he's in. Touchdown, Western Boone. Your score bumps up 6, 34-0. Western Boone in complete control of this game with 2:09 left in the first. More fireworks here. The 5th touchdown through 10 minutes as Jake Taylor will attempt this PAT. Here comes a snap, the hold, it's up, and it is between the uprights for a successful point after attempt. 35-0 is your score now. Last year, of course, the score 51-0. The Stars
we're on pace to beat that tonight.
Here's just a simple reverse, and Connor Hull, so athletic as he just breaks a few tackles there, makes it into the end zone. He's got some help from his center, KC Foster, goes upfield for that. All right, taking a look at some more scores. Lebanon versus Tri-West, you mentioned that. Lebanon scored 8 points since we last talked about them. 14-0 is the score now. Tri-West homecoming.
Yeah.
Trying not to get embarrassed at home in front of that big crowd.
Yeah, and I knew that it was their homecoming tonight as well.
As for Pioneer versus Triton Central, Pioneer's up 30-0 in a game much like this one. Pioneer in control, really trying to make some noises after they were moved up. They won 2 state championships in the 1A division, moved up to 2A, and a lot of people just kind of wrote them off as a team. They lost their starting quarterback, and Pioneer still doing some damage this year and try to go deep in the playoffs. Hand in the air, racing to the ball. This one is up. A kick over to Jade Ayers as he's been busy tonight. 5th kickoff for the Stars, moving over to the left side. He's gone that same path, and it hasn't worked any of the time so far. This one, 29-yard line. Jade Ayers sets up the Frankfort offense in the same spot that they've started pretty much every drive so far this game. We'd like to give a quick shout out to the Young family, big supporters of Western Boone football. We appreciate you guys and everything you do, the Young family. Here comes this offense for Frankfort. Multiple tight end look, run heavy set. 2 wide receivers, one at the top, one at the bottom. Man in motion to the halfback. He'll move over and hand off right up the middle. Will be brought down, still moving actually. And over to the left side, he's got room, one man to beat. Will be brought down is Jack Wilkins right around the 43-yard line, and what is by far the biggest play from scrimmage for Frankfort so far this game.
And it looked like it was Weddington, the last man, the linebacker, senior, brought him down over on the far side.
And what a trick play, is he's able to move out to the far side and gain a big chunk.
That's the biggest
play
drive.
there.
That's the biggest
play of the game
play
for
of
Frankfort.
the game for Frankfort.
All right, here's Frankfort with the spread formation, pistol halfback. We'll wait and see what our quarterback for Frankfort can do. Riley Goodnight. He's going to throw this one screen out to Ayers. Ayers, he's got 3 men in front of him. He moves his feet, not able to get much. Brought down after a gain of 2 yards. Jade Ayers, the senior wide receiver, junior that is.
Over there to help out for Western Boone on that tackle was Caleb Freeman.
And man, the lights here right around this time. The football game looks pretty nice with this turf.
Yes, it does.
4-1 Stars, 0-5 Hot Dogs doing battle tonight. The Stars 35-0. If you're just joining us, here's pistol formation. 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Weathington first in the backfield under pressure is Goodnight. He will be sacked. Will be brought down by a couple of Western Boone Stars, one of which was Clayton Hysong, the other Dakota Halford. The Stars able to get back there. It's Hysong's 2nd sack, 1.5 so far this game after coming into this one with only 1 sack. He's exceeded that total. Keep an eye on Caleb Freeman, as we've mentioned.
Yes.
Leads the state in sacks, has had a quiet night so far. Still been a big pressure contributor, a few quarterback hurries, a few quarterback hits. Going to try to continue that dominance throughout the season here tonight. Freeman's the one that's going to get up first, number 51 at the bottom of your screen.
That's going to be the end of the first period.
So with that, we will take a break here. 35-0 your score after 12 minutes. We'll be back in just 45 seconds here. I'm Nathaniel Finch alongside Brett Kading on WBTV Sports.
Ready to make a move? Then look no further than Moody & Company, powered by Keller Williams Realty. as a top 5% real estate team in all of Boone County and greater Indianapolis. Moody and Company works hard so you don't have to. So when moving time comes, you better get moving with Moody. Call 765-336-1622 today.
Thanks to JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations for making this broadcast possible. Our friends at JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations do custom inlays, refinishing, laminate, and vinyl plank flooring. Give Jesse and Kristen a call at 765-894-5978 or check them out on Facebook. That's JL Hardwood.
Welcome back here with Witham Health Field. The Stars up by 5 touchdowns, 35-0 is your score, and we are at the midfield. Logan Benson being recognized for a state championship win in high jump for track last year. We'll step aside and see if we can listen in on that.
Football state championship, she won the high jump state title with the Jeffers 60 injuries. This got tied for the student school record. Logan is tied to Nathaniel University, where he's playing football and the high jump for the Trojans. At this time, the men's and women's track and field coach, Jamie Corner, is presenting Logan Benson with his high jump state championship win.
Yeah, that was our Western Boone's own Matt Foxworthy doing the PA for the state champion. And you said that was for the high jump last year?
Yes, sir. And Logan Benson, you'll hear from him at halftime along with Sam Wilkinson. We'll see if we can get a couple others maybe.
Now, did he go on to college somewhere?
He is attending Taylor University, Logan Benson.
Okay. Is he still in track and field? I'm just getting a little bit of a little tidbit of knowledge for people as we get ready for halftime.
That's right, and I'm sure after his dominance in high school, he'll probably dabble a little bit in track and field, but of course that isn't until spring, so don't have the information on that quite yet. Here's Frankfort's offense. We're in the second quarter. 12 new minutes up on the board. I formation for Frankfort. Handoff up the middle's Wilkins, and he's driving forward for a gain of 2 or 3. And that'll set up fourth and very long at about 14 yards. We'll see the punt formation once again. Take a look at some scores here presented to you by Andy Hoskins, WBTV's official score tonight. Danville ahead 21-0 against Southmont. They've got that game in control. North Montgomery ahead against Crawfordsville 6-0 after the missed 2-point conversion.
Well, I'm surprised that's as close as it is. Fumble.
And that'll set up the Stars. Didn't matter who recovered that. It was fourth down, so the Stars will be set up deep in their own territory once again. And Frankfort, they got to do a better job with their field position here, making it too easy for Western Boone.
Yeah, Western Boone has had just tremendous field position. And last week we saw them at North Montgomery. They had good field position, but they just had some mistakes that cost them some points. And here tonight, again, I think as we're starting this second quarter of play, I only think they have the one penalty for 5 yards, and I think that's it tonight.
Yeah, that's really something that they have to work on. Cardinal Ritter up 7-3 against Triton Central. Man in motion is Baird. It'll be a pass looking deep. Spencer Wright's got a guy open in the end zone. Touchdown, Cortez Stoudemire, number 33. The wing back for the Stars scores his second receiving touchdown of the game. And Stoudemire, a little celebration with Spencer Wright as now this game moves ahead 41-0 against the Frankfort team.
And like we talked about, I think Western Boone could do that all night long. And we'll knock on wood here, but on extra points, we've been perfect here tonight. This first time at the south end, though.
Yeah, we'll see. This one's up. They have the wind in their favor. This one's up and good. Now a quick little tidbit. My observation, just blindly looking at the box scores from around the conference. A lot of people have been going for 2-point conversions. Lebanon, North Montgomery has won a couple others. You see the replay up on your screen.
Yep.
Just missed it, but it was Stoudemire with the reception there. So a lot of teams have been going for 2 points. I wonder if it's been pretty windy and some other places, Tri-West, Southmont, some places around here to where they're being forced to go for 2. Here, it's not too bad. Wind going north and south. Webo's up 42-0 after 6 straight scores. The scoring onslaught continues now. Frankfort will have a chance to respond once again.
Well, and I think this also gives Western Boone's special teams time to work on things like extra points, and well, it'd be interesting to see if we probably won't have it happen, but if they get to a point where they may even try a field goal or something, because you've got to work on your special teams work along with your offense and your defense.
That's right. Last year they didn't kick a field goal throughout the regular season, and they had gone to the state championship game, no wind or anything, of course, inside Lucas Oil Stadium, made 2 field goals. Here's the kick.
Another great kick.
Jade Ayers gets in the same spot. This time he's got a little bit more room ahead of him, and he'll barrel ahead for a...
He started at the 15.
Return right around the 35, 36-yard line. His best return of the night so far, sets up Frankfort with a little bit better field position.
About 21 yards on that return.
Tri-West scores 14-7 to score there, as Lebanon is ahead. Lutheran and Cecina, their score matches that one as well. Lutheran ahead 14, Cecina 7. Here the Stars defense set out waiting for Frankfort.
Frankfort kind of spread it out, 2 right, 1 left.
Still 2 running backs in the box. Looking to pass. It is good night. He's got pressure from Highsong again. Throws this one up, and it will go incomplete. Brought down by a duo of Freeman and Highsong.
And Freeman was one who got his hand up on it, I believe, and
tipped that one.
Yes.
So now we're in the second quarter. 11-10 up on the board, and we'll set up second down. The Stars will have the benefit of the running clock, most likely here into the second half. Stopped for now until the end of halftime. We'll see if we can get the exact specifications, because I know the last few games it's been a little wordy the way we've explained it, so I will read it right off of the IHSAA sheet come halftime, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. And a timeout will be called. They will charge that one. Kind referee will tell us it's Frankfort will be charged with a timeout, so we'll go into our 4th break of the first half and be back in around 45 seconds here on WBTV Sports.
Is brought to you in part by Collins Equipment. Located in Thorntown, Collins Equipment specializes in high-quality used tractors, trucks, and equipment. You can reach Chris Collins at 317-347-0074 or at collinseq@yahoo.com. You can visit their website at collinseq.com as well. Contact Collins Equipment today.
Lamar & Lamar Insurance strives to provide the highest quality insurance and service at the best possible price. Give Nick Threlkeld a call at 317-973-5700, or you can contact him by the email on your screen. Lamar & Lamar can take care of your insurance for auto, home, health, life, farm, and business.
Welcome back here. Nathaniel Finch talking right now. To my left is Brett Kading, longtime North Montgomery broadcaster. Brett, once again, thanks for joining us today. We're in the second quarter. Just over 11 minutes left in this half. Here's Frankfort on offense, pistol formation, handoff up the middle. We'll move to the right side and we'll be brought down. After a minimal gain, they'll give him 1 or 2 there on that play. That'll set up a long 3rd down for this Frankfort offense. Hasn't been able to do a whole lot so far today.
No, this is, they're about the 37-yard line and just having a tough time even getting a drive going. They've had 2 interceptions already in this ball game.
Well, we've got an official's timeout. Maybe an equipment malfunction would be my guess, but I'm not quite sure. Wethington's going to run off to the sideline. Will be replaced by Taylor, and looks like there might be something wrong with his helmet. Oh,
yep.
That's right. Wethington a little banged up there. So we'll roll the clock. We'll get moving here with Taylor. Robbie Taylor's going to be your middle linebacker here for a couple plays while Wethington gets his situation in order. Here will be a toss over to the left side. Cuts it back inside Jack Wilkins, and Wilkins brought down after a minimal loss. He'll go down -2 on that play.
I'll tell you that Jack Wilkins, says he's 185 pounds, 5'9", senior. He is bigger than 185 pounds. And, he's a big kid, but Western Boone doing a good job overall containing him so far this evening.
Yeah, and he's Frankfort's best offensive player. And here comes the punt formation for Frankfort. This one's up in the middle. Going to be received by Hull. Hull's done all the receiving work for the Stars so far. He's going to cut it back to this side of the field. Now back out around the 46-yard line. And we'll set up Western Boone's offense near midfield in their own territory still. We'll see what they will come out with here with the 42-0 lead.
And that was Nava Diego on the tackle for the Hot Dogs.
Here's Western Boone's offense, supporting most of their regular starters. Wethington's still not in the game. He's still getting his situation checked out on the sideline. Robbie Taylor will be in to replace him. Handoff will go to Taylor right up the middle, and he'll be stopped short. The wind picking up here tonight. Clock is stopped as we've got an injured player. So with that,
it's a hot dog, the wind has picked up.
Well, with that, we'll go ahead and take a break here and be back with you in just a minute here on WBTV Sports.
C&J Well Company is a proud sponsor of WBTV Sports. This locally owned family business can help you with high-quality wells, pumps, and water treatment. Give them a call at 317-852-9355 and ask about their $100 savings for a 6-point inspection fall special. Bacteria sampling, pump tests, pressure tank tests, and flow evaluation, C&J Well Company can do it all.
The Jamestown Lions Club has been serving the Boone County area for many years. If you'd like to be part of the great organization, stop by the Jackson Township Historical Society on the third Monday of every month and check it out. All meetings are open to the public. That's the Jamestown Lions.
Welcome back here. This game, the Stars are ahead against the Frankfort Hot Dogs. You just mentioned number 11 for the Stars, Efrain Quinones is the injured player. Be able to walk off that on his own power. We'll hopefully see him back in a few plays.
And it's a 2nd and 8 here for the Stars.
After that last rush, we'll take a look. Eastbrook is ahead against Frankton, 28-0. Eastbrook is one of those teams in 2A that you got to keep an eye on if you're the Stars. Played them in the state championship game last year. Here's the spread formation, looking to pass. Airs it out, and just to disconnect with his receiver, Garrity. Spencer Wright throws an incomplete pass. Just past the markers, sets up 3rd and 8 now.
9 minutes to go here in this first half of play, and it's a 42-0 lead for Western Boone over Frankfort. And again, Western Boone only 2 points away from being perfect for the season. They lost that game against Western by 1 point. Other than that, they've handled about everybody.
Yeah, here's the play. Wright's going to look to air it out. He's got a man open for the first down and more. Hull, that is still going. He's going to be brought down, tripped up. Number 21 and number 33 for Frankfort, the man who brought him down. 21, Andrick Molinax, and 33, Ethan Cook. The two guys, they've been pretty busy on defense.
And you were saying that Western Boone is going to go on the road for a few games, the next few games coming up.
That is correct. They've been they were on the road last week. They had 2 home games before that. And here, looking into their schedule,
because they're getting into the meat of their schedule.
So they will travel to Southmont next week, and then Danville the week after that before they host Lebanon for senior night. Just 3 games left after this. 2 of them on the road. And there's Taylor showing a little bit of that speed that goes underrated with his body frame, and he picks up the first down and more after the 15 to 20-yard gain.
He went on. I tell you, Max Johnson did a great job of setting up a block there and opened that up for him, and he was able to go off that left side. So yeah, Danville's always a tough place for anybody to go play. And then they'll have Lebanon here, which will be a good one for York County matchup.
Here is Reese Durbin. He's in. Touchdown, Western Boone. 48-0 now your score after Reese Durbin with a touchdown reception on that play.
17-yard touchdown reception.
Durbin does a really nice job there getting open. He only got 6 passes through 4 games. No touchdowns. He's got along of 15 that one. It was a nice job scoring.
I thought they were going to go for 2, but they're not. But now he's going to, after getting a touchdown pass, he's going to hold the ball.
Here's Durbin, the holder. Kick is up. Kick is through, and it's good. 1 point added to the board, 49-0. And just such a wide open play here as they throw that up, and just a routine catch out to the outside, the back shoulder fade.
Great pass, and the defenders were kind of in between. They had a star underneath them and a star behind them, and he did a good job of going to the end zone. And you've got to also give the offensive line, credit for the time they're giving him, and Wright able to make that pass.
Yeah, and this offensive line has been pretty solid through the last couple years. Colton Chapman, he's going to be coming back this game. He was a starter for the first game, went down with a knee injury. He's just getting mixed in, sprinkled in a little bit on this offensive rotation. Hopefully next week he should get his full workload at that left guard position.
Boy, we're down to 8 minutes to go in this first half of play.
Danville,
49-0.
Danville's ahead 28-0 against Southmont.
That doesn't surprise me. Danville is a good team.
And here's the return, a new guy on the block for the returning number 33. He's got some room, and by far he gets the longest return of the night for Frankfort. That was number 33 for the Hot Dogs. Number 33 is Ethan Cook. I apologize for the delay.
Well, that's right. Do you have an update on that Tri-West game? I didn't know if you might have. I'll tell you what, Tri-West and Lebanon, and that's at home. That's a Tri-West's homecoming tonight.
Yeah, it was a 7-point game last time we checked. See if we can get an update on that here shortly. And until then, some formation changes. Looks like man coverage for the Stars. This will be a toss out to the left side. Number 34 has room for Frankfort. We're going to be thrown out of bounds by Wethington. Number 34.
And with 7:57 to go in this first half of play, this is the first time that the Hot Dogs have been in Western Boone territory. They're on the 49, and it's taken all this half for them to get on the Western Boone side of the field.
There's Jack Wilkins, the running back on the play, and he finally has a positive gain after he's been swallowed up for most of the time. First down for Frankfort. We'll see what they can do that after a tiny bit of a momentum change here, as they've got a little bit of momentum on their side. Here's this pistol formation, 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Pass play, looking right, looking deep. He'll throw this one, and it'll be caught. Wilkins, only a gain of 1 as he's forced to catch it and drop after a lot of pressure from this Western Boone defense.
Yeah, Western Boone doing a good job of containing, and he basically caught the ball laying on the ground. And that was a long throw. It was probably a 20 or 25-yard throw, but he's only able to gain 1 yard because the quarterback had to retreat so much before he could pass the ball. Frankfort with 2 wideouts to the left this time.
All right, here is the shovel pass to Wilkins. Wilkins drops his shoulder and will be brought down near the out-of-bounds line after a gain of 2 or 3. Lebanon just went ahead against Tri-West 20-0. That's pending the extra point. We'll see here shortly. They made that or missed that, and they might even go for 2 as they have.
Lebanon's up that much on? Wow.
20-7.
Wow. And Western Boone over on the far side, that was Heisen on the tackle over on the far side. And now it's 3rd down and about 6 for Frankfort.
Pistol formation, good night. Going back to throw, and he'll be brought down. Good night, as he's brought down by Brett Wethington. Puts him to bed right around the 40-yard line. And there goes that positive field position. Now they're going to be brought down for a 4th and long.
Kind of a jailbreak on that one, and there was nobody to block. That's where the numbers. Western Boone had the numbers on the offensive line and nobody to block Wethington, and in he came to have a big, about 13-yard sack on the quarterback.
Here's the pass, or the punt that is, as Hull's going to try to corral this one. Moves over to the left side, stiff-armed and brought out of bounds by number 27 for Frankfort. Does a nice job corralling Hull there is Kyle Earl, the junior.
We're down to 5:43 to go here in this first half of play, and it's your Western Boone Stars 49, the Frankfort Hot Dogs nothing. We'll see what Western Boone does here. Well, they're bringing in Wright, so he'll stay as quarterback. I imagine they're going to stay at least the first half with the before they start bringing people in.
Robbie Taylor in the backfield, man in motion. Taylor has it. He's going to the left side. He's got some room. He's right around the 50-yard line before he'll be brought down at the 46, 47.
And the man bringing him down, Johns, was back there for the tackle.
I'll get this for anybody who thinks that this game is rough so far. Pioneers up against Triton, 60-0.
Wow. Now, did Pioneer have to move up this year?
They did. They went from winning 2 straight state championships in the 1A division. Now they're in 2A, and they're still lingering in that top 10 category for 2A. Here's a handoff over to right side. Taylor still moving, going to be brought down by his caller by number 43, Kevin Lopez Perez for the Hot Dogs.
And this time they went off the Western Boone went right and went off the right tackle that time. Jones doing a good job.
A score, of course, for Lebanon, 20-7. Lebanon's ahead against Tri-West. That game's at Tri-West, as we've mentioned.
And Western Boone's already defeated Tri-West this season, but you're going to have Lebanon here for your senior night.
Man in motion, handoff. Taylor over the right side. He's got some room. He's going to be brought down around the 40-yard line of Frankfort.
And the Hot Dogs bring him down, but not until he gets a first down. So they get another chains move as we're down to 4:15 to go here in this first half of play. And what'd you say the score was last year?
51-0.
And we're almost there.
Pretty close.
We got a new man going 82 for Western Boone's going wide left.
That's Trent Christener. Here's the toss out to Casey Baird. Baird, number 22, tries his hardest to get outside before he'll be brought down by number 6, Ramsey Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell on the tackle for basically no gain.
There's another quick update in 2A. Cardinal Ritter ahead against Triton Central, 14-3. That's a pretty close game, but Cardinal Ritter ahead there. Here's the huddle. We've got 3:25 and dropping left on the clock here in the first half before we'll have a busy slate of interviews hopefully here at halftime for you. Some seniors from last year for this Western Boone football team. Another handoff to the right side, just like we've seen the last few times, is number 41, Robbie Taylor.
And it's almost like Western Boone right now just wanting to keep possession, work on some runs. They've done some right runs off the right tackle, off left tackle, off right guard. And they're working on their blocking schemes. And I'll tell you what, Big 41, he's a load back there behind behind your quarterback.
Yeah, and Taylor can still move pretty quickly if you give him some open space. Here's that example, not Robbie Taylor. He's going, he is in. Touchdown, Western Boone, number 41, Robbie Taylor. Just as we mentioned his speed, he shows us his speed and scores that one for a scorching touchdown. 55-0 is your score, already surpassing last year's record, last year's score.
37-yard touchdown run. And we were talking about how, and he went off, that time he went off left guard, and they opened up a hole for him that you could drive a truck through.
And he can be a truck when you get him
There's
into
the
that
hole.
open field.
The kick is up. And this one's good.
In with no problem. Now another quick update. Tri-West ahead Lebanon's ahead, 20-14, as that game is a lot closer than what it was just a few moments ago.
Yeah, we're down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this first half, and it's a 56-0 lead. And that was if you're a Western Boone fan and you want to see a good drive, that was a good drive. They mixed a lot of runs in, and we're going to have a replay of that again.
Yeah, and he just went right to the left side, and man, he's so fast when you get him out. It's something you don't expect from a guy of his frame. And Taylor can be powerful when you want him. He can be fast when you want him. He's going to be an asset next year when he's going to be the unquestioned leading running back once Weathington moves on.
It was almost like he knew we were talking about him, and he was going to make us look good, didn't it?
He wanted to show off what we were talking about for sure. Last year, Western Boone, they scored 44 points versus Frankfort in their first quarter. That was the most points scored in a quarter in Western Boone history. And here, through the half, they have 56. Not sure what the record is for a half, but I'm sure this has got to be pretty close.
Yeah, Western Boone's looked really good here in this first half. And again, I think only the one penalty for 5 yards.
And that was really a big key. Here's the kick. It will be dropped. Sets up Frankfort right around the 35-yard line. Number 38 was the guy who jumped on it, Frenzel Pozos.
2:30 to go, and they're firing up the floats for halftime. And again, a beautiful evening. I tell you what, it's a beautiful evening for football. I know we've got a lot of the farmers in the fields working. There's people listening to us all over the place. Matt said that they play this at Stookey's restaurant in Thorntown.
Yeah, go ahead and comment in this YouTube chat where you're listening from, where you're watching from, just to kind of get a variety of where you're going. Just let us know where you are right now as you're watching this game in Thorntown, Indiana. Here's Frankfort's offense. Limited time left in the half. Moving to the left side will be a quarterback keeper and moves over to the right side. That's something that Goodnight should do more often, in my opinion, as he is a running back now converted to the quarterback position with that injury to Sam Michael. Goodnight needs to work on these quarterback keepers, as that's something Michael was so good at, was using his legs. So something that Riley Goodnight needs to do more often, being a running back, now leading this offense. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more quarterback keepers like that.
Well, yeah, and he was able to get 4 yards, so now they've got a second down and about 6, a long 6, as we're under 2 minutes to go here in this first half of play. But boy, they're getting down to going to have a penalty here if they're not careful. And we got to delay a game here.
Yeah, they will call a timeout before that delay of game appears. So Frankfort calls a timeout.
I think that's their last timeout.
Third and final of the half, and we'll be back here in 45 seconds on WBTV Sports.
St. Adrian Meats and Sausage, located on the square in downtown Lebanon, offers locally raised and handcrafted proteins. Experts in livestock production and nutrition, their core value is that quality protein begins with exceptional nutrition. From birth to butcher, they know exactly what is in their products and how the animals are raised. Support your Boone County butchers and buy local. St. Adrian is open Fridays from noon until 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Bob's Concessions sells foods such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as the Turning of the Leaves Festival and other fairs around the area. For more information, call 317-850-6499.
Well, we're back here at Witham Health Field where Frankfort, they've got a minute and 41 to work with, trying to put together some form of offense here. They almost got some offense going on the last drive. That one was stopped short after a couple big sacks there for the Stars. Their defense really applying pressure so far.
Well, they got everybody up on the line, too.
Looking back to pass, he's got two guys in his face, throws this one deep, and almost intercepted. That one will drop to the turf.
And I tell you, there's one stat that you told me when we were on our pregame, that they have not scored any until the fourth quarter of any ball game.
That's
to
right.
me, that's
just so far this year. Yeah.
This year they only have scored any points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and those have typically been in garbage time when the other team had kind of their backups in. So Frankfort struggling so far this year to put up points, and it looks like it's going to be similar to that. We'll see if they can even manage points the way they're playing. They need to really tighten up on offense. Here's the rush over the right side. Good night. Will be brought down. Gets
And
right to about
Freeman.
the
Did he get him? Did he get him in
line of
the
scrimmage.
I was going to say, did he get him back to the line of scrimmage? Yeah, pretty close. I don't know if they're going to. I was going to try to give him another sack.
That one looked like a design run, so
Yeah.
I wonder if they would credit that as a sack anyway, because it's pretty obvious he was tucking and running.
And we're down to a minute and 25 seconds to go here in this first half. And back to punt again.
Yeah, they'll whistle this one. Did a really deep punt. And
Holt did a good job. I'll tell you, Holt does a really good job for the Stars.
Fielding these punts.
Yeah, he fields. He can see the field when he gets the ball, and he knows to go right or left. I mean, he really sees the field well.
Yeah, and we've only had maybe one muffed punt on the year, and he was able to pick that one up. No turnovers on the punt teams for Connor Hull. He does a nice job there. A much higher kick, a much shorter kick. Stoudemire's going to call for the fair catch and gets an unlucky bounce. Drops 20 yards now, right around the 25. Frankfort does a nice job there with the punt. Kind of questioned it when it was such a high punt, but they got a really nice bounce. And now Western Boone will be set up for likely just a run the clock out situation with 1:12 left in the game. In the first half, that is. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. Danville's ahead 35-0 against Southmont.
Yeah.
And North Montgomery is ahead 20-0 against Crawfordsville. Lebanon still ahead 20-14 against Tri-West.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me that missed extra point come back and haunt Lebanon at the end of that ball game.
Well, here's the kneeling formation. Spencer Wright drops it to a knee, hands it to the ref. We'll reset for the next one.
Down to a minute to go here in this first half of play. Again, Western Boone with a huge 56-0 lead as we get ready to get to the halftime festivities. King, queen, which class wins the float contest, and a huge crowd here tonight for Western Boone. It is standing room only here at Western Boone this evening. I think they're going to be able to run the clock out here. And they are, as we're under 20 seconds to go. And
run off to this.
That's
to
the last
locker
play.
room.
Yeah.
The Stars have a lot to like here on this play, on this first half. 56-0, not even halftime. And the Stars will likely go and just relax for a bit in the locker room. A couple of guys will stay out for this King and Queen homecoming festivities that they've got going on. So stay tuned. After a few advertisement breaks, we'll be back with some interviews from some of the top players of last year's state championship team. Be back here in just a minute on WBTV Sports. I'm Nathaniel Finch alongside Brett Kading, bringing you the action.
St. Adrian Meats and Sausage, located on the square in downtown Lebanon, offers locally raised and handcrafted proteins. Experts in livestock production and nutrition, their core value is that quality protein begins with exceptional nutrition. From birth to butcher, they know exactly what is in their products and how the animals are raised. Support your Boone County butchers and buy local. St. Adrian is open Fridays from noon until 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Bob's Concessions sells foods such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as the Turning of the Leaves Festival and other fairs around the area. For more information, call 317-850-6499.
Flags received.
Planning, design, sales, construction, service, and parts for farm and small commercial grain systems. The construction team's clean and quick approach assures the most efficient option for you while keeping your facility operating at its best with an eye for the future. Give Hoosier AgriMag a call at 765-436-2203 or visit their website at HoosierAg.com.
This portion of the broadcast is being brought to you by Jones Home Services. They're a 24-hour heating and cooling specialist. Give them a call at 317-753-0230 or check them out online at joneshomeservices.biz for all your home and improvement.
Ready to make a move? Then look no further than Moody & Company, powered by Keller Williams Realty, as a top 5% real estate team in all of Boone County and greater Indianapolis. Moody & Company works hard so you don't have to. So when moving time comes, you better get moving with Moody. Call 765-336-1622 today.
Thanks to JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations for making this broadcast possible. Our friends at JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations do custom inlays, refinishing, laminate, and vinyl plank flooring. Give Jesse and Kristen a call at 765-894-5978 or check them out on Facebook. That's JL Hardwood.
All right, hey, I'm Colin Bruns here at halftime with some former Western Boone football players. Guys, great to be back here on homecoming night. What do you miss the most about all this?
I miss just playing out there with my brothers.
Yeah, I'd say I miss my family out on the field. They're more than just brothers to me.
I definitely have to agree with both of these guys. You know, playing at another level in college is just different, you know?
Yeah, I'd agree with what Logan said. Just because you play at a higher level doesn't mean it's the same thing. I always talk about how there's nothing better than high school football. To me, there's nothing better than Western Boone high school football. So not getting to play out there has been a change, but
Yeah, and you guys all playing college football now, except for Noah here. For you guys that are playing college football, what are some things that you've taken with you from this program that these coaches and everybody has taught you?
I just think the biggest thing that stayed with me is a quote from Bruins, hands on, close down, and wrong arm.
I definitely have to bring another quote from Coach Bruins. Is that keep your foot on their throat.
I don't have a quote. I should have been prepared more. But I think just the fact to be the best teammate that I can be. So I've tried to do that in a different bit of a setting because I'm a freshman, but yeah.
And yeah, what has the jump been like for you guys going from high school to college? I mean, it's got to be an adjustment, right?
Yeah, the speed of the game is definitely a lot different. The guys are a lot bigger. There's 15 seconds in between each play instead of the full 40-second clock. They're just more demanding, more conditioning at practice, and having to put on weight too. It's extremely difficult, and nobody ever gets any sleep with all the studying as well.
If you think it's hard to manage your time being a high school athlete, you have no idea. It's difficult.
I would agree, but in a sense, the college part's been the hardest part for me, just because there's a whole lot more work that comes with it. But it's fun. It's all worth it.
There's a lot more schoolwork.
And you guys, you talked about brotherhood and family. Are you still really close with a lot of the guys playing here tonight? You guys all won a state championship together. What's the relationship been like?
I come back to every game to watch. I really do miss it, so I just come back to watch my friends play.
Yeah, I think this is the third game I've been back to now, and every single time I let these guys know I'm coming to watch them before, so I can stick around after and talk to them too. And even sometimes we go out to eat and everything. It's just a brotherhood that's never going to get broken.
I miss each and every one of the guys on the team so much. I definitely feel like while I was here, I may have taken for granted a little bit some of the guys on the team, even the younger guys. But
I was telling Logan on the way up here, just when I was here, I made a point to be a friend to the underclassmen. So the guys that are out there playing on the field now, So yeah, I miss him a lot, and I am excited to talk to him afterwards. I haven't been able to talk to a whole lot of them yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah, now as you guys go throughout your college careers, what are some of the things that you look back on from your time here at Western Boone?
I'd say definitely the state championship is probably the highlight, but even more than that, like we've been saying, like the brotherhood and the memories made with all of our best friends that we haven't even seen in a while, and having a couple of them come back for homecoming, it's been really special getting to see everybody as they've been going throughout their college lives.
We got great coaches at Taylor University, but I don't think I'll ever have coaches as great as the group of guys that lead this Western Boone football team.
Yeah, I think for me it's just the players around. My freshman year I came in and had a guy named Evan Bales take me under his wing and show me the ropes, and as I went through, I made that my goal, and I'd say the guys, and obviously the state championship is the biggest memory.
Mine is I never really thought that high school would come to an end. I thought 4 years, that's plenty of time and everything, and then all of a sudden I graduated, I don't see my friends anymore, and I come back here, and it's like I'm always looking for them to see who's all going to be here, who I can hang out with, who I can talk with, so it's just really cool to see all of them again.
All right, well, that'll be it for this interview here. I'm Colin Bruns alongside Noah McClendon. Pat, yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right. So as, you've been going throughout your first year at college. How has the transition been different from high school to college, and what was the biggest memories that you reflect on still from your high school days?
Well, I mean, yeah, the transition's been a lot different. There's a lot more work, like you guys said. There's a lot more time management stuff, and I've been talking to a lot of former Ball State guys, like Zach Plezak, the pitcher from the Indians. I messaged him and asked him, what are some ways to be successful in college, and he gave me some advice on time management and just sticking to his schedule, building a schedule around everything you're doing. And yeah, it's definitely been a lot of work, but and also your other question, looking back, definitely starting this, helping start the sports broadcasting thing for the football team and everything else around. It's good to get exposure for all the sports, and I think the community really loves it, so that's a good thing. And broadcasting your guys' state championship was one thing I really missed. So yeah, that's probably what it was. All right, well, that's it for this interview. I'm Colin Bruns alongside Noah McClendon, Patrick Schallenberger, Logan Benson, and Sam Wilkinson, and that is all for this halftime show.
Hoosier Agromatics certified and experienced team of professionals provides planning, design, sales, construction, service, and parts for farm and small commercial grain systems. The construction team's clean and quick approach assures the most efficient option for you while keeping your facility operating at its best with an eye for the future. Give Hoosier Agromag a call at 765-436-2203 or visit their website at HoosierAg.com.
This portion of the broadcast is being brought to you by Jones Home Services. They're a 24-hour heating and cooling specialist. Give them a call at 317-753-0230 or check them out online at joneshomeservices.biz for all your home and improvement needs.
Bob's Concessions sells foods such as Polish and Italian sausage, tenderloins, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and more. You can find Bob Campbell and his delicious food truck at events such as the Turning of the Leaves Festival and other fairs around the area. For more information, call 317-850-6491.
Thanks to JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations for making this broadcast possible. Our friends at JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations do custom inlays, refinishing, laminate, and vinyl plank flooring. Give Jesse and Kristen a call at 765-894-59 Thanks to JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations for making this broadcast possible. Our friends at JL Hardwood and Flooring Restorations do custom inlays, refinishing, laminate, and vinyl plank flooring. Give Jesse and Kristen a call at 765-894-5978 or check them out on Facebook. That's JL Hardwood and Restoration.
St. Adrian Meats and Sausage, located on the square in downtown Lebanon, offers locally raised and handcrafted proteins. Experts in livestock production and nutrition, their core value is that quality protein begins with exceptional nutrition. From birth to butcher, they know exactly what is in their products and how the animals are raised. Support your Boone County butchers and buy local. St. Adrian is open Fridays from noon until 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4.
Lamar & Lamar Insurance strives to provide the highest quality insurance and service at the best possible price. Give Nick Threlkeld a call at 317-973-5700, or you can contact him by the email on your screen. Lamar & Lamar can take care of your insurance for auto, home, health, life, farm, and business.
Ready to make a move? Then look no further than Moody & Company, powered by Keller Williams Realty, as a top 5% real estate team in all of Boone County and greater Indianapolis. Moody & Company works hard so you don't have to. So when moving time comes, you better get moving with Moody. Call 765-336-1622 today.
Podcast is brought to you in part by Collins Equipment. Located in Thorntown, Collins Equipment specializes in high-quality used tractors, trucks, and equipment. You can reach Chris Collins at 317-347-0074 or at collinseq@yahoo.com. You can visit their website at collinseq.com as well. Contact Collins Equipment today.
The Jamestown Lions Club has been serving the Boone County area for many years. If you'd like to be part of the great organization, stop by the Jackson Township Historical Society on the third Monday of every month and check it out. All meetings are open to the public. That's the Jamestown Lions Club.
C&J Well Company is a proud sponsor of WBTV Sports. This locally owned family business can help you with high-quality wells, pumps, and water treatment. Give them a call at 317-852-9355 and ask about their $100 savings for a 6-point inspection fall special. Bacteria sampling, pump tests, pressure tank tests, and flow evaluation, C&J Well Company can do it all.
Welcome back here to Witham Health Field. I'm Nathaniel Finch alongside Brett Kading here, and right now we're working through the halftime festivities. We've got 7 minutes left, and they are right now announcing the king and queen. The king they just announced was Evan Utterback. Let's see if we can get you a shot of that here coming up shortly. Evan Utterback, your senior king for Western Boone homecoming. Here comes the next person. We'll see who they call for the girls. Molly Gorley. Molly Gorley is your senior queen for Western Boone's homecoming. All right, Lewis Cass versus Western. They had to start at 8 o'clock because of some problems they had over there. So right now they're knotted at 0 after the first quarter. Lewis Cass did miss a field goal. I wonder if some weather issues are giving Lewis Cass and Western some troubles out there.
And I do have some stats if we want to go over some of that.
I'm ready for them.
Okay. We'll go down here. First downs. Trying to see what we've got here. You had 9 first downs for Western Boone. This is interesting. 9 first downs for Western Boone, 8 for Frankfort.
Really?
But rushes, 17 rushes for 100 yards for Western Boone, 14 rushes for 10 yards for Frankfort. Their average yards rush, almost 11 yards for Western Boone, 0.7, not even averaging a yard a rush for the Hot Dogs. Passing, they were 8 for 11 with no interceptions was Western Boone, and Frankfort was 2 for 8 and 2 interceptions. And passing yards, Western Boone 165 passing yards. They're averaging 15 yards a pass completion, and Frankfort had 3 for 0.4, a half a yard is what they gained. And total yards on the ground their total yardage for the first half. This is a key point. They had 20 plays, did Western Boone, for 345 yards.
Wow.
Frankfort had 25 plays for 13 yards. He's got to be wrong. That's got to be no. He's got 8 on there. I'm not sure they got a first down. So I can believe that there was 9, but and then there was sacks. There was 3 sacks on Frankfort for 28 yards.
So what you're telling me, Brett, is that the Stars have converted 9 first downs and 8 touchdowns, that they've been so efficient this game that they haven't even need to be picking up first downs, that they're just going straight to the end zone for most of these plays.
Exactly. Well, this is a big tell. Connor Hull, 2 catches for 49 yards.
One of those a touchdown.
Yep. Garrity, 1 catch for 45 yards. Stoudemire, 2 catches for 40 yards.
And 2 touchdowns.
Durbin, 2 catches for 26 yards.
1 touchdown.
Baird, 1 catch for 5 yards. And then rushes, Taylor, 8 rushes for 94 yards. He's 6 yards under 100 yards. Spencer Wright, 4 rushes for 54 yards. Iron, 3 for 23 yards. So, I mean, just a tremendous first half for Western Boone. Goodnight, he was 2 for 8 for 3
Frankfort.
yards for Frankfort. Yes, Ayers was 1 catch for 2 yards. Wilkins 1 catch for 1 yard. And then as far as running, Wilkins had 12 rushes for 35 yards. Goodnight 2 for 3 yards, and they weren't able to hardly get any. With the sacks, there was 3 sacks. So, they weren't able to get that total yardage, 13 yards, because of the lost yardage on the sacks.
Yeah, and I've lost track of how many touchdowns Spencer's thrown this game. We'll take a look at some of his stats coming into this one if our equipment would be so kind to cooperate. Here you go. Spencer Wright, 38 completions coming into the game, 566 yards coming into the game, 7 touchdowns coming into this game. And so far, just trying to count in my mind, he's at least thrown for 4, 2 to Stoudemire, 1 to Durbin, 1 to Hull, and I'm sure that I'm missing a few that he's thrown so far. The Stars are ahead by a bunch, and in part to this man, Spencer Wright. One of those touchdowns was a rushing touchdown.
Right.
On the first play from scrimmage.
And then the other thing, all the extra points, all good. They were able to get the extra points. Working on that. Last week we saw him miss 1, and he's perfect. Again, knock on wood, he's perfect for the night. And it's been we didn't have the penalties here, but that was the one thing that I thought that Western Boone, that was the key for me, was they needed to, bear down and try to play a good first half. And how can you say that 345 yards and a 56-0, even though, yes, Frankfort is undermanned, the talent of this Stars team, but they still needed to come out and be focused and play focused and do things that they wanted to do, because I'm telling you, this Danville team is going to be a tough team to play. And the way Lebanon's looking, Lebanon's going to be a tough team. And, it's always like with Western Boone, if you want to beat somebody, if you circle a big 0 on a calendar, you circle when you're playing Lebanon. If like when I was at Southmont, you wanted to circle North Montgomery and Crawfordsville on anything you were doing, because you want to beat those county teams, and they want to beat you. And but Western Boone did a good job, and they worked on some things. They worked on some long passes, but then they also controlled the ball and worked off a right tackle, off a left tackle. They went around the outside. And I think if you're the coaching staff, you've got to be pretty happy with the way this first half went.
I don't know if you could pick anything that would make you upset. Their lone penalty for 5 yards, as you mentioned, just a simple neutral zone infraction. Nothing really problematic so far through this first half, and now they can use this second half as kind of a feeling out process as to maybe some of the plays that they're looking to run in the near future, some different sets that they're wanting to come out with. I know they've got a heavy set rushing formation that they like to use. Maybe we'll see them lean on that a little bit more here in the second half.
And I think they go ahead. I think they would probably also want to, we talked about it in the pregame, work on getting some of the underclassmen in, some of your second team in, and get them working. And because I'm sure they're tired of getting hit on by first team. They want to go out there, they want to hit on somebody with a jersey that's different than theirs. They want to play in a game type atmosphere, and if somebody gets hurt, that gives next man up, like you talked about last year. If somebody got hurt, it's next man up. And just like you said, the lineman that was out for a couple weeks is kind of been back. Give him time to maybe play a little bit and get him back into the groove of playing varsity football.
Yeah, and that reminds me a lot of Chargers running back Melvin Gordon. He's coming back maybe this week after holding out for over 60 days, and it's going to take him some time. He hasn't been injured or anything. He's just been off training on his own. But it doesn't, even for a stud NFL running back, it still takes some time, a game or two, to get used to that playing atmosphere, playing with other guys, getting hit full speed by other guys the same size as you. So for Chapman, for some of these other guys, some of the backups maybe getting in and just getting some of those reps before, in case they have to be thrown into the action later in the season.
Well, the worst thing you'd want to have happen if you're Western Boone tonight is have somebody that's one of your major starters or your major role players get hurt here in this second half. I mean, it's just like you're talking about with the pros. They don't like to play. A lot of the quarterbacks don't like to play much of the preseason, but then it shows, like you're talking about. It shows for a game or two when they get to playing full speed and the games count. And, there's been a lot of quarterbacks go down in the pros in the first few games, So you got to be the next guy coming in, and look at the Colts. I mean, look what happened there, and look at where the Colts are, next man up.
Yeah, that's right, and they're one or two Adam Vinatieri missed field goals from being perfect on the season. Yep. And that is without their star all-world quarterback, Andrew Luck, who had that injury, who's been nagging him for a while. You all know the story, but just kind of the same mentality here. And I wonder what Coach Pelly's going to do here with his players coming in the second half. Maybe he'll leave his starters out for a drive or so, or maybe he'll just let his backups go right into it.
Well, I think last week, and it'll be interesting to see if they do that here, I'm not sure, but I think last week Frankfort played Lebanon, I believe, and they went to a running clock in the second half, and we'll see if they do that here. But it's going to be Western Boone kicking off to the Frankfort Hot Dogs again as we start this second half of play. Western Boone, the Stars, your Stars, with a 56-0 lead over Frankfort. And again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to thank our sponsors for helping out to make this possible. And I tell you what, this is my second game doing this with Western Boone, and Matt's done a great job. Nathaniel, everybody here, and these kids have got a really great setup to bring you these games.
And hopefully we can continue that through the rest of the season into postseason play. Here's the first kickoff of the second half, moving into the third quarter. The kick is up in the air. It's going to be returned by number 33, Ethan Cook, for this Frankfort team. Will be brought out of bounds. Ethan Cook after a gain of a few. Now this whole running clock deal, basically the only time that the clock will be stopped is after the PAT, not after the touchdown, but after the PAT is kicked or the two-point conversion is gone for. After that's over, they stop the clock. And after injuries, they stop the clock. After timeouts, they stop the clock. After that, if it's a first down, they keep it running. If it's thrown out of bounds, keep it running. If it's an incomplete pass, keep it running as they try to wrap this game up. 56-0 is your score now, and you will only see stoppage of clock after those three scenarios: PAT, timeout, and injuries. Here's the handoff. He'll be swallowed up. The ball's on the ground. We'll see, as it looks like it might be Frankfort. They're able to get back on it. Sure enough, Frankfort's player a little slow to get up after being dived on by 5 or 6 other high school football players. But he gets up. It looked like that might have been, I didn't quite see, maybe 38. Franzel Pozos, the man who recovered the fumble. We'll like to take a quick break here while we're waiting and thank the Conyer family for your contributions to WBTV Sports. Thank you very much to the Conyer family for your
Hayden
support
Woodruff
of our
was
broadcast.
the one that got in there for Western Boone.
Not one of the regular starters. See a lot of backups on the field, so another time that the ball goes on the ground, and Frankfort no problem getting on it, but now it sets him up 3rd and long, and that's not how you want to start this second half against the backups and the JV players on your screen. They've had 2 straight negative plays.
Yeah, having a hard time to handling that ball was good night, and good thing Wilkins was there to fall on it. And now they're 3rd down and about 20. And like you say, the ball's at about the 20-yard line, 19-yard line. They've got a long way to go.
We'll likely just see maybe another run, or see what they do here. Passing over to the left side. He's rolling out. Going to look to throw it deep. The ball's in the air. He's got a man in the area. That one falls incomplete. Intended for Frankfort's wide receiver, number 4, Jade Ayers. That one, once again, incomplete. Now sets up 4th and very long.
And Jordan Gross, the sophomore, 6-footer, was back there for the defense. We got a new man back, too, here, number 36 for Western Boone to get this punt.
North Montgomery with a safety against Crawfordsville. 22-0 is the score now. So they added 2 more points to that score. Here's the punt. Will be a deep punt. Cortez Stoudemire, that's number 36, is still on the ground. Finally, after the muffed punt. Don't see that very often with this Stars team, but back up number 36. I see Joe Stakowitz.
Yeah, Stakowitz.
Sometimes these numbers aren't quite accurate, so we'll see. The Stars did recover the ball, though, so that's not a problem. Spencer Wright's in the hole, but on the outside looking in, so chances are he's not going to be out on the field, and he won't be. We'll take a look at some of the players here for Western Boone.
Yeah, the one thing about playing on turf instead of playing on grass is you don't know who the clean jerseys are coming in and going out like you used to when you played on a grass field.
And when they get all muddy and such. So, taking a peek, quarterback for the Stars, number 13, man in motion. Hand off to the right side. All right, so number 13 for the Stars, Rowan Durbin. Number 36 is Joe Stakowitz, the running back on the play. Might see a little bit of 57 Brant Pitcher mixed in every now and then as a running back position as well. He plays that a lot in the JV games. Here the Stars are out on offense. Not the regular starters. We'll see what they can do here against this Frankfort team. Man with the hand in the dirt is his running back. Man in motion. Hand off over to the right side. Still moving, number 36. I'm starting to wonder if
Stakowitz doing a good job.
Here's Rowan coming out. Rowan Durbin for the Stars. Led his 8th grade team last year to an undefeated record, and may be the guy to lead the Stars here in the coming years once Spencer Wright graduates. Running back with his hand in the dirt. Heavy set formation, man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Going to be a quarterback keeper, and Rowan Durbin stopped for a loss of 1 on the 3rd and short play. He tried with the quarterback keeper, moved out to the right side. Now Durbin will walk off and talk with his coaches here before this 4th and 2 situation. Definitely going to go for 4 if you're this, or go for it on 4th down, excuse me, for the Stars. They almost always do in this position, even with their backups in the game. 4th and 2 for the Western Boone Stars. Heavy set formation, 1 receiver at the top, man in motion coming down your way. A handoff over to the left side. trying to move his way forward. He did not get it. That's a first drive for the Stars, and that will be dropped for negative yardage. And turnover on downs gives Frankfort field position. Let's see what they can do against this team of Western Boone.
And Durbin, Durbin a freshman.
Durbin is a freshman after leading his 8th grade team last year to a pretty respectable undefeated record, much like the varsity team did last year as well. He's got some optimism coming in here
I was going
in
to
the
say,
next few years.
And that's good. Well, and like we were talking about last week, there's a difference between rebuilding and reloading. And that's the one thing that Western Boone's been pretty steady with here as of late. Just as somebody goes out, the next man comes in.
All right, here is the Hot Dogs on offense. Goodnight's going to look back to pass. He's got some pressure, throws this one. Will it be caught? Nope. Incomplete, out of bounds. And now we are in the third quarter with 4:45 up on the clock.
That was Jade Ayers, who was the intended receiver. Yeah, we're at 4:38 to go here in this third period. The running clock, it really goes fast when you get the running clock, but it keeps injuries down.
And here we go, Frankfort's offense. Got a lot of noise here as it's Brownie time for the Western Boone side of the field. And now onto the field is going to be, still moving, is Jack Wilkins. He gets a minimal gain of only 2 or 3 as this Stars defense able to hold their own against the varsity offense of Frankfort. Will force a 3rd and long. Now here
If your window was open, you could have caught a brownie.
Brownie got thrown up and almost hit the window.
I'd give it to you. I don't need a brownie. I'm trying to keep my figure.
Here's Frankfort, 3rd and long, off to the left side. It's a toss over to Wilkins. Wilkins has a little bit of room in front of him. Gonna lower his shoulder and be brought down, walloped over to the right sideline by number 80, Jason Baker.
Yeah, I tell you what, the second team out there is doing a good job of containing. Frankfort tried to go left and drag it around the outside, and they contained him and made him, you know, he had to finally cut or he was going to go out of bounds, but did a great job on containing. Now they're going to punt.
Now you wonder if it'd be a good idea just to try to go for these 4th down conversions, a deep punt. Number 36, the man who calls for the fair catch, Joe Stakowitz. I wonder these numbers are not always correct because a lot of these JV guys, they don't have the same numbers when they play varsity. That's not Stakowitz, that.
You don't think so?
I'm not quite sure. We haven't seen a whole lot of Stakowitz in these JV games. But, I mean, I could be wrong. We'll try to get that figured out here by the end of this third quarter. 2:12 up on the clock. And now this Western Boone offense going to head out deep in their own territory, 21-yard line. It's going to be a tough ask for these guys to move the ball, but we'll see what they can do. Durbin in pistol formation. Looks like Brant Pitcher behind him. He's going to hand it off to Pitcher, who goes off to the left side and will be brought down after a minimal gain, if any. Danville right now, quick scoring update ahead against Southmont, 42-0.
Oh, and a nail biter there.
Lebanon 20, Tri-West 21.
I told you, didn't I? I said that would come back. That missed point will come back to bite them.
Still plenty of time left in that game, but sounds like it's going to be pretty good on homecoming for Tri-West.
They're always tough at home, is Tri-West.
Handoff over to the left side. Pitcher still moving, and now will be brought down after a couple.
We're down to a minute and 10 seconds to go here in this third period of play. Western Boone with a 56-0 lead over Frankfort.
Here's 3rd and long. Very interesting Friday night looking at some of the scores around here so far. Eastbrook's ahead 62-6 against Frankton. Creighton Central down 14-10 against Cardinal Ritter. Here's the third down play. Dropping back to pass. Durbin has a guy open. Number 87, Jordan Gross, will be brought down after it gets near midfield. After a nice gain by Jordan Gross, the 6-foot, 160-pound sophomore. And he moves the chains on that third and long.
The ball's at the 24.
Gain of about 25 yards.
26-yard gain.
Lutheran 28, Cecina 21. A close game over on that front. All the Western Boone fans here are rooting for another Cecina loss.
They won't even have a play here. This will be the end of the. I'll be surprised if they run this.
They won't. They're just trying to call Frankfort off sides. Doesn't work. Doesn't need to work here.
That's the end of the third period of play. With a 56-0 lead for Western Boone as we get ready to go into the fourth period.
So we'll take a break here. We'll be back in just 46 seconds on WBTV Sports.
WBTV Sports would like to take this time to recognize the Lebanon Martial Arts Academy. The academy is conveniently located next to the Lebanon Movie Theater. For more information, check out their website at www.lebanonmartialartsacademy.com or call at 765-335-2080.
Opus Packaging is a proud sponsor of WBTV Sports. Opus Packaging provides customers with the best packaging and distribution solutions to meet your specific needs. Check out Opus Packaging online at www.opuspkg.com.
WBTV Sports would like to recognize Thompson Lawn Mowing for helping make this broadcast possible. For all your lawn mowing needs, contact John Thompson at Thompson Mowing at 765-366.
Well, welcome back here to this game. Western Boone Friday Night Football ahead 56-0. And we talked about some of the matchup statistics before the game about how Western Boone has dominated Frankfort. Now the last 6 games, the series only 23-19 against Frankfort. It's been a pretty even split there, but these last 6 or 7 games, Western Boone has had a huge lead.
Well, and Western Boone had almost 350 total yards in that first half of play, and with what they've done so far, they're up around 400 yards of total yardage for the game.
Here's Durbin, pistol formation. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Toss over to pitcher. Brand Pitcher moving and brought out of bounds. Still moving, but looks like he might have stepped out. A couple flags thrown on the play. So after an 8 o'clock start, Lewis Cass and Western, they have a score of 7. Lewis Cass, Western 0, 2:21 left in the first half. Lewis Cass is the #1 ranked team in 2A. After that holding calls the Stars run back. The second penalty of the game, and at this point, Coach Pelly not as worried about penalties.
I'll tell you, another team in the area that has had a perfect season so far was the North Putnam Cougars. I don't know what North Putnam has done, but tonight, but they've had a good season just like Western Boone has.
Yeah, the Cougars, they played the Stars last year in sectionals. The sectional championship where the Stars won 49-8. Here's the incomplete pass. Not on the same page with his wide receiver is Durbin's number 88, Jake Hendricks. But yeah, North Putnam starting off really well so far this year. And as I mentioned last year, the Stars won 49-8 that was against North Putnam on the second day of November. That was the sectional championship where the Stars started their championship run.
Oh, and it snaps over his head.
Fumble. And Durbin just trying to get on the ball. He will. No problem doing that, but now it'll be set up 4th and very long, maybe 3rd. As the man on the chain gang. Yep, 3rd down as he shows. We're in the 4th quarter. We've got 10 minutes left in this quarter. 56-0 is your score. No scoring in the 3rd quarter. And so far, none for the first 2 minutes.
I thought I might be able to find some scores, but none as of yet on any of mine.
Pistol formation. 1 receiver to the bottom, 3 to the top. It'll be a handoff over to the left side. Brant Pitcher will be brought down by a couple of hot dogs.
Ramsey Mitchell, the junior for Frankfort, on that tackle.
One of the guys, one of two that was able to bring him down. The second one looked like Nathaniel Ramirez Hernandez.
Already 9:30 to go here on this running clock.
We may be out of here a bit earlier than usual. It's only 8:55. Anyone who wants to head over to the Indiana Fear Farm tonight, their opening night is tonight. They opened up at 7 and they'll be up. After this punt, we'll get a really nice bounce for the Stars. So yeah, as I was mentioning, Indiana Fear Farm, they opened their season tonight. They only have 17 days. There's a fumble on the play. Western Boone on the sideline trying to say that they have the ball. We'll see what they call here. I believe the Fear Farm will be open until 11 o'clock tonight for any of you who want to go over and see the Slaughter Barn or Haunted Hayride. Indiana Fear Farm, a proud sponsor of WBTV Sports. Helping bring you tonight's game, 56-0. The Stars are up. Possession will remain Frankfort's, and their offense now going to try to do something here with decent field position, the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you've never been out to the Fear Farm, they do a tremendous job. I belong to the Lions Club in Ladoga, and they used to bring rides. They had rides and stuff, and then got into the Fear Farm stuff. And but they always did a great job at our fish fry with their rides and things.
Yeah, you're talking about KD Stables.
Yeah, KD Stables. Yeah, they have done just a superb job, and they just are really, they make it fun for everybody.
Consistently each year, they're 17th or 18th year, and brought down, still throwing the ball. He'll get it out, so it won't be a sack. Evades the pressure. There is a flag on the play. Could be roughing the passer. We'll see.
Yeah, I was trying to think of her name, Sabrina. Sabrina does a great job, and her dad, I don't know if you know this or not, her dad was a doctor there at Jamestown for years.
He sure was. We call him Doc around the farm, and he does a lot here for the Fear Farm as well. They don't do their KD Stables carnivals anymore, but the Fear Farm's still going strong. Head on out there to Jamestown, Indiana, and take a look at the Indiana Fear Farm. Thank you to Sabrina Kent Doolan for sponsoring WBTV Sports. North Putnam, you were mentioning how they were undefeated. They're losing 35-30 against Northview right now, so you might have jinxed them. We'll see.
I knew they were playing Northview, and they're tough.
Here's the pass, a 10-stop drop. That one will be caught, but there's a flag on the play.
There's going to be a face mask on Frankfort.
Holding on Frankfort. And Jade Ayers caught the ball, but their biggest play of the night will be called back due to penalty, unfortunately.
So you say it was 35-30, huh?
35-30 was the score. Excuse me. I switched that up, so we were wrong. North Putnam is ahead, 35-30 against Northview.
I know a lot of people down at North Putnam, and they, if I jinxed them, they'd be upset with me. So good for North Putnam, and yeah, that's a 15-yard penalty on that face mask. I saw his head snap down, and boy, we're down to 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in this ball game.
Here's the next play for Frankfort. Trips receivers to the top. He's looking to pass, going out to the top of your screen, wants to air it out. Instead, will be brought down for a sack.
Like 71.
Number 71 for the Stars. Corbin Smith, the freshman, 5'10", 180, brings him down. I'd like to thank the Marsh family for all your contributions to WBTV Sports as well. Thank you for supporting today's broadcast.
Nice that you have so many people that sponsor and support you guys. You guys do a good job here. Matt does a great job.
We appreciate all of our sponsors, all donations. If you'd like to leave a donation, you can email that to Matt Foxworthy. You can find his email on our school website, on our class website, westernboonradiotv.com. So here we got a hefty amount of wide receivers, trips to the bottom of the screen. rolling left, now back right. He'll be brought down for a sack. Number 31 for the Stars, Blake Miller, the freshman, brings him down as well. So we have a lot of young players here for the Stars making big contributions against Frankfort. And here before this next play, we would like to thank the training staff for Western Boone, the athletic trainer, Courtney Crabtree, team doctor, Dr. Dan Kraft, trainers, senior Victoria Grimes, senior Mackenzie Covington, Kaylee Hoskins, Lucy Nicely, and Maya Fisher as well, helping out, keep these boys hydrated and helping out throughout injuries for both teams through multiple sports.
Nobody even back. Just letting her roll.
Rolls still moving right around to the 27, 28 yard line. We've got 3:53 left in the game. And next, we'd like to thank Western Boone trainers, Dylan Gillihan and Zach Litton. Western Boone managers, that is. Now the Stars, kind of their MO here throughout the last couple of years is keep your head down, take it game by game.
Right.
And then at the end, you look up, you see where you are. They don't like to move ahead from any matchup. They don't like to overlook anybody. Don't like to look ahead. And here it shows as they dominated the first half with 56 points. That's really a great strategy to have. You don't want to get upset like a lot of teams do when they play some inferior opponents. Here's Durbin. Trips receivers to the top. Handoff over to the left side, still moving. Brant Pitcher, we brought down after a gain of a few.
Well, and just like we saw last week, you had a team that was that hadn't lost a game, a team that hadn't won a game, and by the time the night was over with, maybe they were looking ahead, and that's what you got to be careful about. And Western Boone, I like that attitude. Take it a game at a time, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy this game and the victory, but by the time they leave the locker room, they're going to be thinking about next week.
2:24 left on the clock. Here's a heavy set, man in motion, handoff over the left side. Pitcher will be brought down, sets up third and medium. And here you just alluded to Cecina Memorial High School, 2A, number 4 ranked. They are losing right now to the number 1 ranked 1A team, Lutheran, 35-21.
Wow, 35-21.
So that game is not quite over with, but Cecina, they've got a lot of work to do if they don't want to go on an 0-2 skid after starting out 4-0.
And which Western Boone now, I talk about next week, they'll be going to Southmont to play the Mounties next week.
Triton Central, they've been down throughout their whole game. They just took the lead over Cardinal Ritter, 17-14. And that play will be blown dead.
We're down to a minute and 30 seconds to go in this ball game. 56-0. Yeah, in the conference, with Danville, Tri-West, Lebanon, Western Boone, all three right up there at the top.
Yeah. Tri-West, they lost to Western Boone just 2 short weeks ago, and then they beat Danville last week, so Lebanon really the one team, Western Boone.
With Western Boone's kind of hoping that maybe Tri-West beats
And
Lebanon
right now,
tonight.
Tri-West is ahead 21-20 still against Lebanon. That would be a big help to their conference aspirations if Tri-West pulled out the win. Here's a man over to the right side. Number 34 is going to be brought down after that toss play. Number 34, John Harlos.
And we're down to 40 seconds to go in the ball game.
37 seconds on the clock, 33 on the game clock. We'll see one more play before we head out of this one. And we will take a quick break here after this next play and be back with some stats and some recap here.
And a look at next week.
Here comes 15 seconds on the clock, the last play most likely. Man in motion, it'll be a quarterback keeper right up the middle. And that will be it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and zeros on the board. That is your final 56-0. We will be back shortly after a word from your sponsor.
Can you survive a night at Indiana Fear Farm?
It was awesome.
Scary. Very, very scary.
We traveled an hour and a half to come to it.
Come see what's new in our spectacular haunted hayride stunt show and scream your way through our blood-curdling slaughter bar.
Don't touch me! It was so cool! I peed my pants.
It was fantastic.
I had fun. The worst part was that when you had...
If you want fear, if you want fun, get it all for one low price at Indiana Fear Farm. Opening weekend, September 27th, 28th, and 29th. Go to IndianaFearFarm.com now for instant coupon. Indiana Fear Farm in Jamestown. Come out here for farm fresh fear.
Oh my God. Scary.
Indiana Fear Farm.
Back here at the end of the game, it's finalized, but one game that's not finalized yet, Tri-West versus Lebanon. Tri-West ahead 28-20 against the Tigers, a game that the Stars are hoping that the home team can pull off is Tri-West. We'll take a look at the next few games for Frankfort. They will host Danville and North Montgomery the next 2 weeks, and then finish their season at Crawfordsville. Last year, that Crawfordsville-Frankfort game, both teams went to their winless, and so far it looks like that
and
could happen again
Crawfordsville was
this year
able to win that one last year
by a blowout, and hopefully Frankfort and Crawfordsville, that be a good game this year. As both teams looking so far like they might go in winless. We'll see if that holds up or not. We'll take a look into the next few weeks for Western Boone. You'll see us at Southmont next week, at Danville the week after, and finish it off at home against Lebanon. The next 3 matchups all on a turf field, as the Stars, they've got a tougher slate. Danville and Lebanon especially, 2 of the next 3 games. It'll be interesting to see how the Stars can do against those guys. We'll take a look at some stats here in just a moment and be back in 40 seconds on WBTV Sports.
This portion of the game is being brought to you by Wine Coop Accounting Services. Give them a call at 317-441-8135 and let them take the stress out of your taxes. Wine Coop Accounting Services has over 30 years tax experience and specializes in small business accounting financial reports. That number again is 317-441-8135.
Whitaker Glass and Mirror, located across from the Lebanon Municipal Building, has been serving the Boone County area for nearly 15 years. Whitaker takes care of windows, specialty glass, mirrors, windshields, and more. Contact Troy and Janie at 765-482-1500 or online at www.
We're back here at halftime. Lewis Cass versus Western. Western's ahead 14-7, and the Stars once again hoping Western pulls out a win there, as Lewis Cass was ahead on the rankings there. They're ranked number 1. So we'll take a look at some closing stats here.
I'm going to have to grab him when he comes by. I missed one of them I didn't get. So
stats brought to you by Mr. Gray here at Western Boone. He does a lot for us.
I got that one. I need the one with.
Does a lot for us. As we are experiencing, of course, a few technical difficulties, as we usually do. You can't see it on your screen. We'll see what we can do to bring it forward. All right.
Sorry about
Brett,
that.
bring us some stats. Bring us home.
All right. We had for Western Boone on, get over here where I can read everything. Total plays. Western Boone with 43 total plays and Frankfort with 36. Total yards, 359 total yards for Western Boone, negative 17 total yards for the Hot Dogs.
Isn't that something?
Passing yards, 192 passing yards for the Stars, and 3 for Frankfort. Rushing yards, 167 and negative 10 for the Hot Dogs. First downs, 15 first downs for your Stars. Turnovers, 2 turnovers for the Hot Dogs. They were both interceptions there in that first half of play, which it shows. Penalties here after we had the junk time, the Stars had 4 penalties for 35 yards, and the Hot Dogs had 4 penalties for 25 yards. And we'll look here.
Yeah, you can see us on your screen. The camera is not going to work here today.
Oh, the camera's not working?
Yeah, our cameras are down, but you can still see us here as we're going to go through some closing stats there.
My gosh.
Brett Kading beside me. I'm Nathaniel Finch. I'd like to give a thank you to our director for tonight, Colin Bruns. You heard him at the halftime.
I told you I
interview
had
today.
a face for radio. I don't have a face for TV. You got a face for TV, a guy like that.
I think you'll be all right. So closing stats here. Bring us home, Brett.
I'm looking here on my picture. Spencer Wright, 165 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Just unbelievable.
And a touchdown rush as well.
Yep. And Taylor, 94 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Connor Hull, 40 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Goodnight had a -7. Wilkins had 33. These are for Frankfort, and 2 yards for air. So it was a rough night, rough night for the Hot Dogs. And, you know, we talked about it again. We talked about what Frankfort needed to do. They didn't. We talked about what the Stars needed to do and how they needed to play a good game. And I think as they go to Southmont, Southmont's going to be a little tougher team. You've got to think that Western Boone is going to be favored pretty strongly over the Mounties, but you're going to be away. But they have got to get ready. This week and next week has got to get them ready for the game against Danville at Danville. That is just such a tough game.
And then home
against Lebanon. I mean, that, to me, those 2 games are going to make or break this season. The last 2 games of the year are going to make or break the season for Western Boone as far as their regular season. But they're getting some help down at Tri-West right now.
They sure are. Tri-West is up 28-20. Thank you, Brett, for all your stats, for all your help today.
Thank you.
We would like to thank Mr. Dexter and the athletic department for Western Boone for all your help squeezing us in the press box. A couple other radio stations up here as well. We just appreciate Western Boone athletic department for all that they do for us. Thank you to the coaches for working with us here through our broadcasts, and of course, thank you to all your viewers. We'd like to thank our crew, James Miles and James Moore, running camera, Brayton Huckstep, and Richie Brown up on our field mic. Of course, I already mentioned Colin Bruns, our director. I'm Nathaniel Finch, Brett Kading from all of us here at WBTV. 56-0, your final score. Everybody have a great night.